don't have to play the root and the bass. Mixing the lowest note up is a nice change of pace. Changing the bass. So in this video, I'm going to share a little trick that I use all the time in my songwriting. When I'm stuck with a boring chord progression, which can sometimes happen, like when you come up with a melody, sometimes the melody dictates the chords, and the chords might be really, really boring, like this D. To C, which is just a bit naff, to use a naff word. And one thing we can do to mix this up and make it more interesting is to change the root note. So a lot of people don't seem to realize that you don't have to play the root note in the bass. Like we have our D major chord, and the lowest note is the D, and we have our C major chord, and the lowest note is a C. But you can use any chord tone in the root. So let's try the D major chord. We can put the 7th in the bass, or not the 7th, the 3rd in the bass, which is the highest note here, an F sharp. Let's put that in the bass. It's a bit more interesting, a bit less grounded. Feels like it wants to go somewhere. Could want to go there, which happens to be a chord tone of C. So we already have a more interesting chord progression. So that's a bit, it's different. Is it better? Is it worse? I don't know. But it might spark an idea. It's definitely more interesting to my ears than... Or we could put the 3rd in the root of the C. We can move our D down to... It's a bit weird, but I'm sure there's a way to make it work. Let's see. It sounds like it wants to go down to... The point is, there's no yes or no, try different things. And what I happen to do in the opening little ditty I wrote, is a ditty, does a ditty mean there's no singing? So it's probably not a ditty, or maybe it is a ditty and ditty does mean singing. So what I did is I put my D major up here. This guitar is a bit out of tune, the intonation's off, so bear with me. It's the same 3 notes. I just play them up here, so I could use the open A, which is the 5th of the chord in the root, which has this kind of unresolved sound. It's not quite home, it's a bit floaty. And then I decided to play my C here. That's the 5th, the root, and the 3rd of the C. And you don't have to even use a chord tone on the bass. I threw an A in the bass, because the A was already in the root, and I was like, what's the C sound like with an A in the bass? Sounds pretty cool. If you want to analyze it, it's a C chord over an A in the bass. You'd call it like a C/A, or a C over A. If it was written down, you'd see D or C/A. But if you looked at it from the A note, from the perspective of the A note, which is now the root, it actually is an A minor chord. It has the root, it has the minor 3rd, and it has the 5th, and then it has this fancy note in the middle, which is a flat 7. And if you want to get nerdy on it, that's an A minor 7. Sometimes played here, but that's for another video. So You don't even have to think about the theory of it. Just throw a different root note in and see what happens. That's what I did there. I can analyze it afterwards and realize what it is from a theoretical perspective. But that's not how I was thinking when I came up with it. I just thought, ooh, that sounds cool. What if I keep that A going, and then the whole progression has this unresolved feeling. So you don't have to play the root and the bass. Mixing the lowest note up is a nice change of pace. Changing the bass. Thank you. Subscribe for more nonsense.